is data items that we saw in our first presentation. Okay, now here you can see this is the LibreBase. Okay, this is how the layout of the LibreBase looks like. Okay, on top I have already kept a database open. Okay, so here I have database1.odb. So this is my title bar. Okay, this is my title bar. Okay, and here there is a menu. The LibreOffice menu is there, the menu bar. Okay, the menu gives us a set of functions that we can choose from, just like the menu in your restaurant where you get to select what kind of food you would like to have. Same way, the menu gives us a choice of functions that we can select from. Okay, and next here there are a set of icons here. Okay, the set of icons here, this is our standard toolbar. Okay, these are quick functions that we can access. Okay, and the remaining portion is your working area. This is your working area. Okay, here are your data items that you saw: tables, queries, form, and report. Okay, so this is how your layout looks like. And now we will see how to create a table. Okay, so we are going to create the table, which is the first basic unit in your database, and we are going to create table in a design view, the first option that has been provided here. So let's click here. Okay, when I click on the design view, I get three options here: field name, field type, and description. Okay, so now I need to specify certain field names. Let's say I'm creating a student table. Okay, I'm going to put here roll number and description. I'm going to put F name, first name. I'm going to put city, city of residing, and I'm going to put mobile number. Okay, so here I have given certain fields, certain field types, and description. In your field type, your default comes as text varchar, but here there is us. If you click here, there's a small drop down that comes in. You can click here and you can change your data type. Okay, I can use a different data type. Okay, so for now we can keep it as our number. And here I can, in the field properties, okay, if you see below, there's something called as field properties. If you can see that, here I can specify entry required, okay, and the length. So entry required, if I put it as yes, okay, if I put it as yes, that means it's a mandatory thing and it cannot be left empty. Okay, if I put it as no, it's okay, I can leave those spaces as empty. Okay, so these are my options here. And here I'm going to go near the R number, the roll number. I'm going to right click here. There's something called as primary key. Okay, I'm going to click that primary key. So what happens when I click that R number, I make that R number as primary key. By default, my database will not allow me to leave the R number as empty, and also it will not allow me to have duplicate values in the roll number. Why is that? Because the roll number should be unique. No matter how many students get added to my table, the roll number should be different. So that is the purpose of the primary key. Okay, now let's save this table. Let's give this a name. I'm going to give this name as table 1. Yeah, let me keep the same name, table 1. Okay, so my table name, let me close this. Table 1 is brought here. So in my table data item, I can then see the list of tables that I have created. What have I created just now? Table 1. Let me double click it. Oh, this is what I get, an empty table. Okay, I can start entering the values here, which I'm going to do right now. At least 4 records I'm going to enter. Okay, this there is an edit icon on top. If you see here, edit, if I remove this, I cannot edit the data. Okay, but I can click here, okay, and I can edit and add data, or even edit the previously entered value. Edit means to modify. Okay, let's give some name. A Puna. Okay, ABB Mumbai. Now let's try something. Okay, let's see whether the unique primary key constraint is working. Let me give a same number here. Okay, I give DDD. Okay, oh, it's not working. What happened? It says duplicate values. You cannot use duplicate values. Okay, then I have to go here and I have to make it 4, or I have to make it 5. I cannot give the same value. Then it allows me to continue with my table. Okay, so now since I'm done with it, okay, let me close this. Let me see if the values are entered. Okay, when I click, it's showing me the values are entered. Excellent. So I have been able to create the table, insert the record. Okay, let me insert another one. Okay, okay, saved it. Now I want to delete some record. I want to delete something. Let me go here on the side, right click, delete rows. There's something called as delete rows. I can just click here. Do you want to delete the selected data? I can view what data I'm deleting. Yes, I want to delete it. Okay, it gets deleted. Okay, so we can right click here and delete the rows that we don't want. Okay, so I have got 4 records here. Okay, so these are my fields. R number, F name, city, mop are my fields. Okay, and these are my records. Okay, now I want to know how many students or how many people from the table 1 are from Mumbai. Okay, I want to know that. So how am I supposed to know? That's a question I'm asking, isn't it? I'm asking a question. How many people that I have entered in the table 1 are from Mumbai? So for the question section and for the retrieval of the data, I'm going to go to the query data item. Okay. Now let's do the first thing. We are going to use something called as the wizard. Okay. The wizard to create the query. Let's use the wizard. A wizard will have a certain steps by which it will guide us through our query making. Okay, now here there is something called as tables. In the first one, field selection, so I'm going to select table 1 because that's what I created. Okay, now here I get available fields in the table 1, and here I need to select what fields I want to provide in the query. Okay, now I can select the fields. If I have something specific, I can select it, but I say no, I want everything. Then I can use this 2 arrows here and put all of them. Okay, I want all of them, so I'm going to put all of them. Okay, then I go into the next one. Okay, this is sorting order. I can sort or I can choose not to sort. If I want to sort, I would suggest that I would sort with the R number in the ascending order. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, remember I want to see which of my people are from Mumbai, how many people in the table 1 are from Mumbai. So I select city, fields. Now under the fields I select table 1 dot city. What is that? Table dot field name. Table dot field name is equal to, I will go give my value here as Mumbai. Okay, match all of the following or any of the following. Since I have got only one criteria right now for matching, I will leave this selection. Okay, and I will continue with my next step. Alias. Okay, if I want to change the name, let's say I want to change here roll number. Okay, I want to give a different name. Okay, a different name, I can do that. Let's go to next. Okay, and let's finish our query. Okay, when I said finish, it shows me the two records that I have entered in the table 1 with the city as Mumbai. That makes sense. Yes. Okay, so this was how we use the query in the wizard mode. Okay, let's see how do we do in the design view. How do we do in the design view? Okay, let's take here. Okay, we have something called as the marks table. Okay, let's add it here. Okay, so this is how our design view of the query looks like. I added a table called marks. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify, let's say, roll number. Okay, and I want it to be visible. Okay, I want to see the roll numbers. Okay, and then I say I want to see the OC marks. Yeah, I want to see the OC marks, and I want to see the BK marks too. Yes. And do I want to see the IT marks? Yes, I want to see the IT marks. But wait a minute, I want to do a calculation of total. Let me do the calculation of total. So what am I going to put? OC plus BK plus ID, and I press enter. Okay, now I want to do is OC plus BK plus ID divided by 3. Okay, now here okay, I have entered two formulas and I want the alias as this is the total, so I'm going to put here as total. It should be viewed as total, and this is going to be percentage. Okay, since all of those marks have been entered as hundreds in hundreds, this is going to be the percentage. Let's run and see what happens. Okay, okay, let's run again and see what happens. Okay, so since I put the brackets, okay, it gives me the percentage. This is then going to then add and divide it by 3. Okay, so I can get the percentage like this. I can see the total. Okay, so this is how I can give certain formulas here and alias the names of what those formulas should be depicted as. Okay, and here there's something called as the run query. Okay, it's also got function F5 written in it. If I click on this, it runs the particular query for me. Okay, so this is my design view for the query. Okay, our next data item is that of forms. Okay, forms. Let's use the wizard. Okay, let's use the wizard to create the form. Okay, now I want to use, let's say I want to use the table 1 that we already created. Okay, I want to use table 1, table 1. There's also queries listed here, but I'm using the table 1. Okay, and I want to use all the fields. Then I go to the next one. We're not going to use a subform, so let us leave this option for now. And what kind of controls do we want? We can see how the controls change. Maybe this way, maybe a certain way we want to modify. I prefer the first way, so I'm going to keep it like this. Okay, next. This form is to display all the data. Yes, so it's going to remain checked. Do not allow modification. No, I want to modify, so I will not check any of these items. Okay, and then I press on next. I can change the layout of my form if I want to change the layout, but I prefer to keep it this way, so I'll leave it. Okay, I can give a form name, table 1 form I'm gonna give. Okay, and I finish it. Okay, so these things have come up here. Let's say I want to change the name here. Yes, I put okay, and I can save it. I save the record. I can add a new record here. If you see down, there are certain icons here. I can add a new record here. So let's say I give 6 or I give 5. Okay, and I can save it. Okay, so this is how the form will appear via the wizard. Okay, now let's see if our changes got reflected in the table 1. Oh, look at that. There's another record that has been added and the name has also been changed. Excellent. Okay, so that was our form data type. Now we'll see the report data type. Okay, what is a report? To display certain data in a printed form. Okay, now let's create a report here using the wizard. Okay, it's going to guide us through the necessary steps needed for the report. Before that, the report wizard comes here. Okay, so I want to create a report, let's say of table 1. Okay, the same way I want all of the data that has been listed. Go to the next one. There's certain labels that have been provided. Okay, I can change just like alias. I can change here. I can provide different names here. Okay, next one. Do I want to do some sort of grouping? Okay, let's say I want to do grouping according to the city. Let's see what happens. Okay, then I do next. There's some sort options. Do I want to sort anything right now? I don't have anything to sort, so I'm going to quit. I'm going to go to the next one. Choose a layout. I can choose a layout. Okay, let's say I choose tabular column. Okay, and there comes a report. Let me put this name as table 1 report. Okay, it will be a dynamic report, and create the report now. Let's finish this. Okay, so if you see here, the grouping has happened. Okay, via the city. The city was given for grouping. So this is how my report looks like. Okay, the Pune, Mumbai, and all the fields and the data that I had selected from the table 1. Okay, so these are your 4 major data items that you need to know for your Libre database. Okay, and for your practicals point of view, you need to know what how to create the database, how to create the table, okay, and how to insert records in the table, and how to save it, and how to create a particular form over that table. Okay, so yeah, so that's what happens. So you need to know how to create the table in the design view. Okay, the simple one, how to insert the data we saw, and right click edit, and how we insert the data. Okay, how to insert the data, how to save it, and how to create a form using that table. Okay, so with this we will end up this presentation. Thank you.